Hello and welcome to the Oak and Lamb YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks. I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. We are so excited to be bringing you the new Cricut Venture content here at Oak and Lamb. The new machine opens up so many possibilities with cutting widths up to 24 inches and as long as 75 feet. It opens up lots of possibilities. In addition to the cutting sizes, you can also do print and cut up to 24 by 28 inches. It's just mind-blowing, honestly. But we wanted to bring you a fun project that makes a really good first project with your Cricut Venture. If you are just opening the box, setting it up, and wondering what all it can do, this particular project, we are going to be using a poster board to cut with our 24 by 28 inch mat. We're going to be cutting off mat with the 25-inch Cricut Smart Vinyl. We're also going to be using our scoring stylus, and we'll be using some Cricut pens. Now, the Cricut markers that they have come out with, the chunky Cricut markers for Cricut Venture, would be really superb for this particular project, but we do not have those. So we're just going to be using regular Cricut markers that you would use in your Explorer Series or Maker Series machine. If you are looking for a video with all of the information, all the nitty-gritty details about the Cricut Venture, we do have a video with all of that information, from pricing to sizing to what all you can make with it. Check out that video. It's a really good one. But in this video, we're just going to show you how easy it is to use. I want you to see it in action and see how amazing it is. So like I mentioned, we are going to be using Cricut Vinyl, the Smart Vinyl. We are using this mat with the poster board. I'm going to be using a dry adhesive, our ATG gum, the Cricut markers, the scoring stylus, and the scoring stylus is the same stylus that you would use in your Explorer Series machine or Maker Series machine. It fits perfectly down in clamp A, as do the markers or pens. And that should be about it. We're going to be using some Oak and Lamb cut files for this project today. If you are not already an Oak and Lamb member, now is a fantastic time to join. We are running a promotion for $35 off our annual membership, which gives you access to our entire library of cut files with free commercial use license, including these files I'll be using today. In addition, it gets you access to our private Facebook group where our flock is fantastic. One thing that we see a lot here at Oak and Lamb is that crafters say they just don't have the friends and family who understand what all goes into crafting. And that can be so disappointing when you've made this amazing craft and put all this time and energy and tiny details into it and show it to someone. They're like, yeah, that's cool. You want them to be like, no, that's amazing. You're phenomenal. You did so good. Well, that is sort of what we do over in the flock on the Facebook group. In addition to being each other's hype girls and gentlemen, we also help troubleshoot any issues that you might come across as crafters. Not only do we love cricketing here at Oak and Lamb, we also love crafting in basically any other craft genre you can think of. From sublimation to woodworking, home decor, resin, clay, laser cutters, we do it all, and we love to teach it here at Oak and Lamb. Membership will also get you access to our member-only content, as well as courses that teach you specifically how to use your Cricut. So if you are brand new to Cricut, I'm glad you found us. Join today and let us know if you have any questions about the membership or this project. Let's get started. Okay, this is the 3D box with lid that we're going to be using today. And this is a great little project if you are needing a specific size box or something like that for a gift that you're giving someone. And now, because of these huge options we have with using poster boards and cardstock in this large size, you can make some pretty decent sized boxes. So let's go ahead. First, we're going to use, like I said, this cut file, and then also we'll use this Happy cut file that is also an Oak and Lamb cut file, and we're going to kind of split it up a little bit here and there. So I know that I want the Cricut to draw this on the lid of this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to duplicate it because I'm going to be using it for something else. And then I want to hold in shift. And if I hold in shift and hover around one of the quarters, then it will rotate my image in a controlled way. Now I can size this down and I want to place it right here on my lid. Now I can decide, do I want all of this to be one color? Do I want it to be separate colors? What do I want it to do? And because I have all of these colors with markers and things like that, I think I'll just leave it kind of like this. So what I need to do is go in and change it from cut lines to pen or to marker, whichever I want to use. If you have a fine point marker, then it's gonna be more fine. It's not gonna be as thick, and that's what I am using today. So let's use the pen, and you can change the color. I'm gonna be using red, so I'll just change the color of that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to all of these. So change it to pen and change it to the color that you want it so that you will know in Design Space, it will prompt you which marker to put in at what time. Okay, now I have all of those changed, and I'm not gonna do anything quite yet to it until I grab these lines right here. And I want, right now they're cut lines, I want them to be score lines. So I'm gonna come up to operations and change it from cut to score. And now I'm going to select all of this and press attach. I want the marker or pen and the score lines to attach to the box base. So we'll press attach. Just like that. And then I want to ungroup this if I haven't already, because I want the balloon to be separate. I'm going to cut balloons out of vinyl for each section on this. So let's go ahead and send this to the front, or bring to front so that we can see it like this. And I'm going to size it here in the center so that this fills up. Now I could do these in different colors if I wanted to, or I could do a cluster or something like that. But I'm using such big vinyl that I just want to do big singular balloons. So let's duplicate this by pressing Command D on our keyboard. That is a hotkey for Macs, Command D. Now I don't need to attach this, I just put those there for sizing purposes. But what I want to do now is group all of this together because I'm going to size this as big as I can. The poster board that I'm using is 22 by 28 inches. And so I can make this as wide as 27.5 inches. This is going to be pretty big. It's going to be really nice. Now I can go ahead and click Make It. So I will be cutting on mat and I'll be cutting without the mat. So I'm going to choose this option right here, manually select for each load. I can go ahead and confirm. The material and mat size I will be using is 24 by 28, so that looks good. This looks pretty good too. I might be able, I wonder if I can squeeze another one in here. No, I can't. Okay. So I'll just leave this as is. Sometimes Cricut will put stuff on mats like this and you can actually maneuver it, finagle it a little bit so that you can save some vinyl. But in this case, it will be fine like this. However, let's look at this. It has our material size set to 13 inches and we're actually using 25 inch. So let's change that. And you can see I can get more side by side like this. So that's going to be really great. So make sure you have the correct material size selected. Let's go ahead and press continue. We'll connect to our machine. I am using the USB cord. It is our preferred method here at Oak and Lamb because it gives you the best connection and most reliable connection. It's really quick as well. Now with this first mat selected, I am using poster board. I have favorited it, so let's go ahead and select it. I'm going to use actually a little bit more pressure because I have cut some poster board out and I like a little bit more pressure. If I don't put a little bit more pressure than the setting that's just default, sometimes they'll leave some little fuzzy ends here and there and I don't want that. So it's going to tell us to load all of this. Now look, we have load the scoring stylus and clamp A, fine point blade and clamp B, and then it wants us to raise the lever and move the pinch roller to position 2. So if yours is not already in 2, then put it in 2, and then raise the left and right guides so that you can accommodate that larger cut area, and then press the mat support button, insert the mat, then we're gonna lower the lever and press the load button. And then coming up, you can see we have our light green pen, our black, our yellow, our blue, and it's gonna give us all of these prompts. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna go to the overhead camera and I'm gonna show you all about moving the pinch roller and the left and right guides, and then we will load the mat and get to crafting here. Okay, so let's go ahead and load the scoring stylus into clamp A. You're just loading it exactly like you do in the Explore Series machines or Maker Series machines. You're gonna feel a little kind of pop and you're ready, so close it. Before I move further, I promised you I would show you about the pinch roller and the little left and right guides. So if we pull this back here, you can see there is a 1 on this bar and then there's a 2 right here. Placing the pinch roller on 1 will help get your Cricut ready for smaller cuts. So like your 13-inch Cricut Smart Vinyl or your 12 by 24 mat. If you're going to use that setting, then you need to close down this guide and open up this guide. This guide right here should already be open because you're pretty much gonna have it open at all times. Now, to go back, if I decide I'm gonna do bigger, I just move it over, close this guide, open this guide. Super easy. Now, if your clamp is closed, you will not see the numbers on here and you can't move your pinch roller. So make sure your clamp is open or your lever is open in order to move that. So that's how it needs to be. And we also need to engage our mat support because we are gonna be using that 24 by 28 inch mat, and those are pretty big, so we need that extra support. In order to do that, we're gonna push this button right here, and our mat support is gonna pop up from this way, and then we can add the extra pieces as well. So let's go ahead and push that. Also, when I pushed that, these came up. These were flush before. I don't know if you can see those all the way across, but these right here come up, and that helps when you put your mat in. Your mat will rest on those and it will make the mat not go down any further. So now that that's here, I'm gonna give you a front, well, nope, oh, no, I'm not. Now that those are up, we can go ahead and put the rest of the mat guide on. To do that, I'm just gonna take this and put it here like this. And then put these pieces like this. And now here is a front-facing view with that mat guide, and you can see on the bottom that mat guide is there as well. Okay, with my lever up and my mat supports on, I'm ready to go ahead and place my mat in my Venture. Now I'm ready to close the lever and press the load unload button, and it is going to measure the length of my mat. Now I'm ready to press the flashing start button. Now let's look over in Design Space for our next step. It wants us to load the blue pen in Clamp A, so we'll remove the scoring stylus and load the blue pen. And what we're going to do is just refer back to Design Space after each step and do exactly what it says to do. I'm going to speed through this because it's so repetitive. We're going to be using 7 different marker colors, so it's just unload, load, press start, unload, load, press start in that order. Now it's finished drawing, scoring, and cutting, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the pen, and I can go ahead and lift up the lever and remove my mat. Now let's go back to Design Space. You can see next load is our next option. We are going to be using Smart Vinyl, so let's go ahead and browse our materials. Smart Vinyl Permanent. We'll just use the default pressure, and you can see here that we need our 5-point blade. We need our lever in position 2 with the far left and right guides open. And we are not going to need the mat support because we are going to be cutting matless. So we can go ahead and remove that and close it down. You can just easily pull up on this and close it down. And when we're closing this down, we want to make sure that the little supports that pop up right here are down. If those are up, then we can't close this. It will just keep popping back up. So let's make sure that those are closed. Now we want to shut the top layer of the mat guide, and we need to make sure that these that popped up are down. If they're not down, then every time we close it, it'll just pop back up. So to put those down, we're just going to close our lever. Now we can close these. Now let's get our machine ready to cut with our large roll of vinyl. And to do that, we're just going to use these roll assists, place them in here. If you do have the stand, the Cricut stand, you don't need that. It has a spot specifically for this. But we'll go ahead and just put the roll of vinyl right here. And then we can insert from the top, just like we did our mat. If you're putting this in and it's not going down further, you may be doing what I was doing. The lever does have to be lifted. It's hard sometimes to remember that step. So make sure that lever is lifted, and then you can go ahead and insert your vinyl. I insert the vinyl until about the bottom of the blue clip right here. And then when that is finished, you can go ahead and close your clamp or your lever. And then we're going to push the load, unload button. And now it's going to measure the length of our vinyl to make sure that we have enough. Normally I like to speed this entire process up when we are filming for you all, but I want to leave this in real time so that you can see how quickly the Venture cuts. This is insane to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and press the flashing start button, and now you can see it in action. Okay, it's finished. So now what I want to do is grab my cutting tool from the top of my Venture, and I'm going to show you on the overhead how easy it is to use this and cut away the smart vinyl. We'll just lift this back so you can see on the bottom here is a little groove or kind of divot that I hope you can see. And that's where the cutting tool is going to go. So the razor or the blade is back here. You can't hurt yourself. And you're going to want to put it toward the vinyl like this. You're going to go all the way across. Cut off your excess. Now I will say, this actually did pretty well. Sometimes if you pull this down, if you pull the vinyl down further than the bottom of the blue, then I feel like it has a lot of excess that is kind of just wasted. But that level seemed to do pretty well. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put my cutting tool up here so that I don't lose it. I can open the lever here, pull out my vinyl, and then I'm finished with my Venture for now. So let's go ahead and remove our mat from our poster board, much like we always do. This mat is so big, it does feel a little bit awkward when you're doing it. Just take your time and make sure that you're looking at your entire graphic or entire cut to make sure that you're not ripping parts of it, especially if you're doing something with a little bit more detail to it. I know I did a snowflake before and it took me a little bit of time to get it off. In fact, Rachel had to help me hold it so that I could get it off more easily. This is coming off pretty well. It would be better if I had a light grit mat, but unfortunately mine has not come in yet. I can put this to the side, and then we can go ahead and grab our bone folder and crease all of the folds. We're gonna go ahead, fold where all of the score lines are. Now I could go ahead and put this together just by putting a strip of adhesive right here. I'm going to be using my ATG gun and then putting it together, or I can go ahead and put my balloons on it and then put it together. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to even weed this, honestly, because it's kind of going to be like a sticker. And they'll come off like this. You don't even need transfer tape. Like I said, just pull them off like a sticker and place them on there. You can use transfer tape if you want to, and you can weed it if you want to. Now I can go ahead and place my adhesive on here, and this is so big, I'm actually gonna put 2 strips. Normally I would only put 1. But now I'll just fold it like this, line it up right here. And right here. And then I'll close this. Like this. Now I can close this down. You can see the top has that really cute drawn element to it. And if you wanted to, you could take a marker and fill this in, or you can just leave it like this. I think it's really cute like this as well. You could also do a print and cut sticker or something like that if you wanted to on the top. There's lots of different options here. And let's go ahead and measure this. Could have done it in Design Space, but I wasn't paying attention. It is 6 3/4, so it's a 6 3/4 inch box. Would put a really cute gift in it. You could put a mug in it, a wine tumbler, so many different things that you could make in this thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it and using this venture. If there are other projects that you would like us to see, large projects made with the venture, I'm kind of thinking some really big flowers would be cool, but let us know what your thoughts and your ideas are by leaving a comment below. If you're not already a subscriber here to the YouTube channel, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you don't have notifications turned on, turn those on so that you get notified every single time we go live here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you here another day for another video.